High above the world, nestled within the shifting mists of a sacred mountain, stands an ancient temple where time seems to hold its very breath. These stone steps, worn by centuries of devotion, lead to a place where the silence is only broken by the rhythmic sounds of the morning. Among the shadows of the pillars, a young monk prepares for his daily ritual, his hands small, but his determination fixed upon the task ahead. The sweep of the broom creates a steady heartbeat against the stone floor, a sound that signals the beginning of a relentless quest for purity. Every golden leaf is a mark of imperfection on the canvas of the courtyard, a distraction that the young boy is determined to clear away. But nature has its own rhythm, and even as he works, the trees continue to shed their golden burdens, falling softly into the spaces he cleared. His young heart seeks a perfect stillness, a clean slate where no leaf remains, believing that order is the only path to true spiritual peace. The mist swirls around him like a silent witness to a battle that has no end, as the leaves fall with an indifferent, quiet grace. He views each leaf as a flaw, a tiny piece of chaos that must be removed immediately to maintain the sanctity of his sacred home. In the grand scale of the mountain, his struggle seems minute, yet to him, it is the most important mission in the entire world today. He does not see the beauty of the cycle, only the mess it leaves behind as he wages war against the inevitable flow of life. As the sun climbs the sky, the warmth of the day does little to ease his mind, for the wind begins to pick up pace. His breath grows heavy, and his muscles ache, yet he refuses to stop, convinced that one final effort will bring the perfect cleanliness he seeks. Suddenly, a playful gust of wind arrives from the deep valley, undoing hours of labor in a single, chaotic moment of swirling golden light. Shock turns to dismay as he realizes that his control over the world is nothing more than an illusion crafted by his own high expectations. He tries to fight back, sweeping with a frantic pace that lacks the grace of the morning, his heart racing against the falling autumn leaves. The trees above seem to mock his efforts, releasing their grip on the past as they prepare for the cold winter that lies ahead. Exhaustion finally takes its toll, and the young boy sinks onto the cold steps, feeling the weight of a failure he cannot quite understand. In his mind, the leaves are no longer just debris. They have become the shadows of his own anxieties, crowding his inner peace. We often believe that happiness is a state where all problems are gone, but trying to reach that state only traps us in struggle. The more we focus on removing every source of worry, the more we find ourselves surrounded by the very things we fear the most. Every effort to push away the chaos only seems to invite more of it, as if the universe is teaching him a painful lesson. The courtyard is a mess. His spirit is broken, and the perfection he chased has vanished like the morning mist under the burning sun. He realizes that his tools and his will are not enough to defeat the natural order of things, leaving him feeling utterly empty. Nature does not seek to be clean. It seeks to be whole, and in its wholeness, there is a place for every falling leaf. He asks himself why he must suffer so much for a simple task, not realizing that his suffering comes from his own resistance. The leaf rests upon him, indifferent to his struggle, a tiny piece of the world that refuses to be swept away by his will. The noise of his own thoughts is louder than the wind, a cacophony of shoulds and musts that drown out the voice of peace. From a distance, the mess he sees is actually a beautiful mosaic of transition, a masterpiece painted by the hand of time itself. The battle pauses as the light changes, and the world prepares to transition from the heat of struggle to the coolness of the evening. Out of the deepening shadows of the temple, the master emerges, his footsteps light and his presence as calm as a deep lake. He carries no broom, no tools of control, only a heart that has learned to beat in time with the universe's quiet pulse. He sees the exhaustion in his student's eyes and the broken spirit that lies beneath the surface of his outward failure. With movements that are deliberate and soft, he picks up one of the very things the boy had been fighting all day long. He holds it not as a piece of trash, but as a treasure, a miracle of biology that has completed its journey on the tree. His smile is not a judgment, but an invitation to see the world differently, to move beyond the narrow walls of the ego. He lets it go, and in that simple act of releasing, he demonstrates a power far greater than any broom could ever hope to possess. "My child," he says, his voice like the sound of a distant bell, "you are trying to fight the ocean with a cup. You cannot stop the leaves from falling, just as you cannot stop the flow of your own emotions or the passing of time. Instead of cleaning, he adds to the mess, showing that the presence of leaves is not a problem to be solved, but a reality. The boy is confused, his logic of cleanliness shattered by the master's actions. Yet he feels a strange sense of relief beginning to stir. The more you sweep with an agitated heart, the master continues, the more the dust of your own mind will rise and blind you. He shows that peace is not found by clearing the environment, but by finding a sanctuary within the self that nothing can disturb. He follows his teacher's lead, sinking into the golden carpet, feeling the texture of the leaves instead of the burden of their presence. Let the leaves fall, the master whispers, and let your heart remain quiet, even as the world around you moves and changes. The courtyard is no longer a battlefield. It is a classroom where the lesson is simply to be present with what is. Everything has its place, including the falling leaf and the tired monk, and both are perfect in their own imperfect way. The young monk finally smiles back, a small, genuine expression of understanding that lightens the heavy atmosphere of the entire day. The day ends not with a clean floor, but with a clean heart, which is a much more difficult and beautiful achievement. In our modern lives, we are often like this camel, struggling against a storm of expectations that we cannot possibly control or stop. We believe that if we just push harder, if we just work more, we can make the world stand still and obey our desires. We treat our worries like these sticky notes, trying to pull them off one by one, hoping for a day when the desk is empty. But for every problem we solve, 2 new ones seem to appear, leaving us in a state of perpetual exhaustion and mental fatigue. The effort to eliminate all problems is, in itself, the greatest problem we face, a trap that keeps us from living truly. Whether it is leaves on a stone floor or digital noise in our pockets, the struggle to be done is an exhausting illusion. Look at the river. The rocks do not try to stop the water. They let the water crash against them and simply remain. Acceptance is not about giving up. It is about becoming like that stone, remaining centered even when the flow of life is chaotic. You don't need to stop the city to find silence. You only need to find the place within you that the city cannot touch. Control is like sand in our hands. The more we try to grasp it tightly, the faster it escapes our reach and leaves us empty. When we open our hands and our hearts to the reality of the moment, we find that we have everything we truly need. Time is not an enemy to be conquered, but a medium through which we move, a constant change that we must learn to dance with. The rain falls when it must, the leaves drop when they are ready, and our thoughts arise as a natural part of being human. We cannot force our minds to be peaceful. We can only create the conditions where peace can naturally emerge through gentle acceptance. True strength is found in flexibility, in the ability to bend without breaking when the winds of misfortune blow through our lives. He stops the war against his to-do list, realizing that his value is not measured by the number of things he has completed today. The light of the Spirit remains constant, even when the external world is a whirlwind of uncertainty and constant, unpredictable change. Be the observer of your life, not the victim of its circumstances, and you will find a freedom that no problem can take away. We are all crossing this bridge, learning to leave behind the baggage of control and walk lighter with every step we take. When you stop trying to fix everything, you suddenly have the energy to enjoy everything, even the parts that seem broken. Life finds a way to flourish even in the gaps of our perfectionism, if we are only willing to look and see it. We return to the mountain, where the lesson of the leaves is waiting to be integrated into the soul of the young monk. Night descends upon the temple, bringing a profound stillness that the day's heat could never provide, wrapping the world in silver peace. Side by side, they sit in silence, 2 souls finding their way back to the source of all things, beyond the reach of words. The leaf is no longer an intruder. It is a companion, a tiny part of the universe resting on his shoulder as he breathes. His face is no longer tense with the effort of doing. It is soft with the beauty of simply being, a true reflection of Zen. The teacher knows that the hardest lesson has been learned, and the seed of wisdom has finally taken root in the fertile soil. Inside the hall, the small light represents the eternal flame of awareness that survives every storm and every season of our lives. The moon doesn't try to clear the clouds, it simply shines through them, its light reaching the earth, regardless of the obstacles in its way. He sees the golden floor as a gift, a natural decoration provided by the mountain, a sign of the abundance that comes from letting go. His movements are now a dance, a harmonious interaction with the world around him, no longer a battle against the forces of nature. The work of the Spirit is never finished, yet it is always complete in every moment we choose to be awake and fully present. The broom will stay there, a silent reminder that some tasks are meant to be performed with the heart, not just with the hands. The mountain remains, the temple remains, and the wisdom of the leaves continues to whisper to anyone who is quiet enough to listen. In the grand tapestry of existence, every small frustration and every large sorrow is just a leaf falling in the courtyard of eternity. He thanks the tree for its leaves, for its shade, and for the lesson it has given him on how to live and let go. Peace is not the absence of trouble, but the presence of a steady heart that can welcome both the leaf and the wind. Step into your own courtyard today, not with a broom to change it, but with a heart ready to embrace the messy beauty. Because in the end, we are all part of this magnificent, imperfect world, and every falling leaf is a part of our own truth. Tomorrow the leaves will fall again, and tomorrow the young monk will sweep, but he will sweep with a smile on his face. Walk gently among the leaves of your life and find the peace that has been waiting for you all along in this very moment.